Hey there, how's it going? Ryan here at ThePaceTriathlon.com. If you're watching this, that means you are interested or signed up to do IRONMAN Texas. So in this video, we're going to discuss what you need to know about the weather and to make sure you're prepared on race day for clothing, for gear, and all the things you need. So with that, I want to flip it around and we're going to look at my computer, and this is what I do to find the weather for all you guys. So bear with me. So right now, what I've got is typically what I'll do is I'll pull up the website for the race, and they do have handily kind of recommendations what the weather's like. Air temperature average is 72 degrees Fahrenheit, average water temperature of 82, which that kind of tells me that most of the time it's not going to be wetsuit legal. I did do this race in 2014 and it was actually wetsuit legal, which was nice. So I threw that on and I had a pretty good swim with that. So that was convenient. But it did get up in the upper 80s when I did the race and it got kind of warm. So 70s, I think, is a little bit low in the estimation. So what I would recommend is I go to timeanddate.com, and in here you can go through and you can search by your location. In this case, I did the Woodlands, Texas. So with that, you go do a drop down menu by year. So I just picked April, and then you just go through and you can get any day you want. And what I've been doing is going through April 24th, just because that's what year the race is, or what day the race is going to be at in 2021 is April 4th, 2021. So I just picked the 24th just to kind of see, and I've done 2020 for this year, 2019, 2018. So I like to go back and get a good kind of sense of what the weather's doing for the last 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years. Obviously, I'd recommend to go even further. So if you've got time on your hands, go through and then just, copy over and pick a new date on every one of them. So what I'm interested in is kind of see what the low is for the day. So 2020, the low was 60 degrees. And I'm sorry that this is going in and out of focus. See if we can change that a little bit better for you. So it might change a little bit in and out of focus while we talk about the weather and I scroll through. But, beginning of the day is about 60 degrees. So it's still a little warm, and maybe you have the opportunity where it could get low enough to get the water temperature down. So again, this is 2020. So you go through and it's pretty sunny and got up about 90 degrees, looks like the high, and you're getting about 13 miles an hour wind, 14 mile per hour winds. But notice at about 9:44, they had some thunder showers. So it did rain kind of towards the end of that. So just be aware of that it is in Texas. You're in Houston area and you can get rain and get a washout. I believe it was 2017, 2018. It was a complete washout. They had to stop the race because of a storm. So just be ready for that. It could rain on race day. But notice even if it did rain, it was still in the 90s. So it wasn't a big deal. 2019, if you look at that, the morning temperature is a little bit warmer. So 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And then as you're going through, notice it got up to, looks like a high of 78 degrees with 17 mile per hour winds, 15 mile per hour winds, 18 in the afternoon. A little bit of rain after 9 o'clock. And you look at the humidity, 97%, 96, 100% humidity. Got down to 66, which is semi-comfortable. You look back in 2020, 32% humidity, 31%, 32. That's pretty good humidity right there in the heat of the day. So 2019. So these are things I'd be looking at is what's the weather start. So you know what to dress like at the swim start. And if there's opportunity, always bring a wetsuit. You never know. So 2018 looks like it started getting warm here pretty quick. And then a high of 84, which isn't horrible. The winds look pretty mild that year. And then 40% humidity, which isn't horrible at all. So there's plenty of, I think 2018 looked like a pretty good year. So 84 degrees Fahrenheit, no rain, anything like that. Good visibility, wasn't a problem. So typically that's what I do to kind of get historical accurate information. I mean, you can go to the website and you can see it there. But I just like to go back and make sure for myself so you can hit different years. This timeanddate.com goes back to, I don't know how many years you can go back on here. So you can get back to, 2011 if you want to. So let's look at April 2011. April 20, well, there's a couple days to choose from. Let's do April 26th. So it looks like it's kind of half accurate information, so maybe they don't have all the information, but 82 degrees at noon, 12 mile per hour wind. So that to me tells you that you're probably looking at about the 80s. You're looking at pretty high humidity. So if you're a heavy sweater, just be ready for that. You're gonna have to replace fluids and electrolytes and all the minerals and everything on the run. So just be ready for that. It looked like for the most part, I think most of them are pretty, well, I say pretty sunny, but partly sunny for 2019. 2020 looked pretty sunny. So it's going to be warm. It's going to be sunny. It's probably going to be humid. And there's probably going to be at least 13 to 15 mile per hour winds. So I also like this, hit weather.com. As you get closer to race day, you get more accurate information. I mean, you can go out. I can go to April 2021 right now. If you look at race day, so the record high was 90, record low is 49, averages is 81 degrees, which is pretty close to Ironman. You got moonrise and sunrise. So, right now, this is the best information they have. But, we're at the time of this recording, we're in December of 2012. So that's what I'd recommend is be ready for sunshine, be ready for heat, be ready for humidity. I think you'll be okay in the start of the bike. But in the afternoon, it'll get a little bit warmer, and especially when you're on the run. If you're kind of late afternoon, early afternoon, when you get out of T2, I think you're going to be kind of feeling it, and it's going to be sunny. It's going to be humid. You're going to be sweating a lot. So make sure that you're prepared with your gear, sunscreen. It's going to be very important. You're going to get baked out there. The course has some shading, but there's spots where you're going to be wide open to the sun, so don't get sunburnt. Make sure you hydrate on the bike. I made that mistake in 2014. I did not hydrate well on the bike, and I paid for it on the run. That was my first and only DNF and an Ironman event. So make sure that you're well hydrated, well nourished. Make sure you got your nutrition on point, because once you get to that run and it's hot and it's humid, as you move along, you're not going to be able to process foods and hydration as easily, and you're not going to be able to replace what you're sweating out in enough. You want to be at a 2 to 3% dehydrated when you come off that bike. So when you hit the Ironman run course for Texas, it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, you're going to be sweating a lot, and you're not going to catch up no matter how much you drink on that course, unless you're like totally walking the slowest you can and drinking lots of fluids. And in that case, it's going to be sloshing around, you're not going to run, and it's going to take more time to get through that run. But that's generally kind of what I'd recommend for Ironman Texas for the weather. Just be ready, sunshine, be ready for heat, be ready for humidity on that bike. Be ready for a little bit of a headwind going out in either direction. There's usually at least 13, 15 mile per hour winds going on, but usually not super gusty or anything like that. But there are the outlier years where they've had thunderstorms and everything kind of show up on race day. So just be ready for that. It could rain, but typically you're not going to be very cold. In the morning it'll be nice, comfortable, probably 60 degrees or something like that. But as the day goes on, it's going to warm up, and it's going to be sunny, and it's going to be warm. So that's my recommendations for Ironman Texas, what to expect on the weather. If you have any questions or anything, put them in the comments, the videos, anything that I do. Ask me any questions, send me a message. I'll be happy to answer them. www.setthepacetriathlon.com. Check it out. Let me know if you have any questions.